keep my eye open for things to show you in this my Star Trek show and tell series. Um, Honestly, I just like buying Star Trek books and stuff like that. And these videos are justification for all the money that I'm spending. But every now and then at the various auction sites or Goodwill, which is where these two lots came from, uh, you could tell that someone's legitimate fandom ended up there. I mean, if we're being honest, it's probably because the person passed and their family didn't know what to do with the materials, which is a ongoing concern for the aging people that are in fandoms that collect stuff. I know when my mom passed, she had like 1,000 precious moments, all sorts of like really nice china, but like me and my wife, we never like have dinner parties. I can't remember the last time that she had a dinner party. My mom did before she died, uh, and I don't know what I'm going to do with several hundred precious moment things. None of them were the Star Trek one, but I want to say like all of her precious moments ended up going to a like a hospice thrift store or something like that. Um, and I'd like to think that my collectibles are worth more than what she had, but I know the truth is that they're not. No one's really going to care about my collection of Star Trek books or Star Trek comic books. There's probably like 5 or 6 people in the entire world that would probably spend more than a couple $100s on the collection, um, which I've spent a little more than that. um, uh, this being one of those cases that about a month and a half ago, I saw at Goodwill 2 lots of Star Trek magazines, and they just kind of like threw them all on a table and took photos of them and showed them to me. And I was like, okay, it looks like I don't have probably about a third of those. I ended up getting both lots for a dang steal. I think I spent maybe $60 for the whole thing, and that's with shipping. Because every now and then they'll throw in like penny shipping, and then other times they want to charge you $20 for a CD. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for, but in this case, there was a ton of like just stuff I was not expecting to see, and I was super happy when the boxes came in, and I got some fun stuff. So let me show you what I got. Show and tell. All right, so this is a stack of like the books that I got, not the magazines that I also got. So um, instruction manuals for Star Trek video games, Star Trek Away Team, and Star Trek Generations. Which I've got all my Star Trek video games like behind data up there. Like I think you can see like something right there. I think it's the 25th anniversary on the end. I don't think I own Generations or Away Team. I don't know, but now I have the instruction manuals. I know that if you turn to page 15, you will find the keys on how to move your character, which this game is so old they had you just using the left, right, up, and down arrow keys on your keyboard instead of the that ASDW setup that we've had for decades and decades. And then they threw in this book, which is the Star Trek Star Charts book, which is fantastic. They're huge. They're charts of various star areas, star maps, and then there's breakdowns of different planets and interesting tidbits about everything that is there. That's one of those books that I've had my eyes on wanting to get for quite some time, but have never seen it in a bookstore or online at a price that like made sense to me. The thing that actually blew my mind about this lot is how many of these TV guides I got. I want to say there's got to be about 40 of them in this collection. Uh, which you said to yourself, why were there so many Star Trek covers for TV Guide? Well, one issue of TV Guide had 35 covers, which is a lot, even for $2 a piece. I mean, these are $2001 so they were worth a little more, right? Yeah, that's the way that works. So some of these covers are kind of interesting. You can actually track the series that were on the air at the time, just based off of like who was on the cover. So you know you got a bunch of Voyager ones, and um, these actually all came in the bags that have them here, which I think is hilarious. That I'm pretty sure these bags are not completely made for these magazines, but someone cared about them enough to wrap them up like this. We got some tributes, some really cute crossovers. I don't know if the tone really crosses over with those two franchises. Um, Quark on vacation doing his thing. The when Next Generation ended, and then I've got this whole series of magazines here that I feel like should connect somehow because they all have like the sameish background, but I've never really been able to get them to connect because you can see that like people's shoulders are being cut off and they're not on the next cover over. So like I feel like that was a waste. Not a waste, but like a missed opportunity. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh, oh, another ultimate tribute. We're gonna see a lot of those, I think, both on the magazines and the TV guides. And books like this, I don't know, man. Um, I don't know if I would put books like this in my collection because we've got Xena, Hercules. I have no idea what the oh, that's a Space Above and Beyond. Fantastic series, loved it. Um, and then there's this thumbnail of just William Shatner, just like being Bill Shatner, um, not in a Star Trek uniform, not in anything like that, but like they talk about Star Trek on the cover. I don't know. Would you keep that in the collection? Obviously, I'm going to do it because I'm crazy. Then this is a cover of when they brought Michael Dorn over to the DS9 franchise. A much needed breath of fresh air. We're going to save that one. And then this is from when they launched D Space Nine. Avery Brooks without the beard with a full head of hair, which Patrick Stewart was pretty jealous about that. Maybe I already showed the other one, but this is there's a three covers that have the same warp thing in the back, and it says Bon Voyager, which is a take on Bon Voyage. But the other one had just Kate McGrew, and the third one had just Jerry Ryan. Yeah, maybe I already showed that one. I don't know. Then there's this, which is not a photograph. That is artwork. 25 years of Star Trek. Does this say who did the art on the cover? No, but I will eventually figure that out. And it will be on my website. And then here's another series of covers that look like they should all have the same, like they should connect somehow, but no. Yeah, that weird sexuality from Enterprise. The not weird sexuality from Patrick Stewart. And speaking of sexy, Coneheads. Yeah, yeah. Avery Brooks taking charge. Then here's the very famous Jerry Ryan and like Lucy Lawless. They did a whole series of photos with each other that all the fanboys were all a tizzy about. And I believe this is about William Shatner's Star Trek Memories, the book, which was okay, and a whole bunch of magazines that there were 8 covers to this set, but you can tell that this is why you should put your stuff in bags and keep it away from moisture. I'm not sure what's all over the cover here. Is that just dirt or is it mold? I don't know. I'll leave it in that bag, not find out. But I've only got 2 of those 8. And it's the two pretty ladies. Then we've got when Q visited Janeway on Voyager. And I believe this is when Voyager first launched. And oh look, another Ultimate Tribute. I'm not sure if that is the same exact issue or not, but those are the TV guides that came in through here. It is fantastic to see those because the TV guide books were disposable, right? You spend $2, you find out what's on your TV, you throw it away at the end of the week. These collectible ones, though, I guess like fans at the time would hold on to them. But this is the series that had 35 covers, of which I only think I have 8. So we've got Picard, Kirk, Troy, Spork, Crushers, the Doctor, not the Doctor, but the Doctor, and then two best friends, Mr. Vulcan and Kim. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So I have 7 out of the 35 here. I think I have some in a box somewhere, which, man, I really want to get rid of this fish tank that's behind me and just put books floor to ceiling. Now, something that you can't do on the cheap, but companies keep trying to do on the cheap, are lenticulars. And I've already had one of these, but you can tell that they tried to do. Can I even get it to move on screen? There we go. That was it. Like, it looks like there's probably like 20 frames in there, like maybe 10 frames. There she goes. She goes into the nebula. That is the Enterprise E, I believe. But it's not a very good lenticular. I think this one is even worse. In this one, I think she is flying into frame. And then I don't December. Yeah, okay, this is the same series. Check this one out. That is Picard here and Data there, right? Watch, 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 watch. Data moved a couple frames. Why would you make this a lenticular? Like, I don't know. And then this one is only slightly better because it is so meme-tastic. He stands up. Ooh. Hey, you. I could probably look up to see what he's saying in the in that movie, because this is Nemesis. It's a shame that movie never really did well. Okay, so that's it for the TV guides. I also got a couple magazines, and by a couple I mean, geez, Louise, man. Okay, so we're gonna take this away. You're gonna see my note there for checking to be sure if a stack of books is on both League of Comic Book Geeks and Star Trek Book Club. Constant problem that I have that I don't track my collection in both places consistently. Then I buy 2 of each thing. Yeah, doesn't matter. Let me check to see which one of these I'm supposed to be doing first. Okay, Communicator. So, Star Trek Communicator. Too close. All right, there's Star Trek Communicator, as Mr. Spock would say. Star Trek Communicator was the main publication of the official Star Trek fan club, an evolution from Star Trek the Official Fan Club magazine. Communicator was a bi-monthly magazine and began releasing with issue 100, continuing the issue numbering from its predecessor. I did not put these in order. I just kind of stacked them on top of each other. But this is the start of the magazines that we have here, and got a whole bunch of these. Look at how great these are. There was a bunch of interviews, stories, hearsay, official or not, in this series of magazines. They even got the rights to some Marvel stuff. Star Trek Conquest. I can't believe that game is still online. Maybe I should check that out. I don't know. Would you like a subscription for $35? Or how about Kirk as a Romulan action figure? Yeah, these magazines used to be and were right up until they canceled Explorer, barely disguised vehicles to sell merch. I think probably half the content in here is something talking about, hey, you could buy, like, this is like prints of Star Trek art, which honestly I might have bought it. Like, if I had the opportunity to buy something like this, yeah, why not? But what is fun about these older magazines, you get to see the ads that are in there for the merch. You get to see ads for various conventions. I think this is a cruise on the Dutch Caribbean Adventure. Um, but these, who's these are notes that people, like letters that they actually hand wrote and then mailed in. Uh, see if there's anything else interesting here. Yep, a bunch of advertisements for other franchises like Babylon 5. Some behind the scenes stuff, which they never really talked about, why he was wearing a rainbow suit in that movie, but kind of like the iridescent glow of it. 15th anniversary greeting card sets. The DS9, I'm sorry, this is the TNG companion by Mr. Star Trek himself, Larry Nasemic. Star Trek the role playing game, which is still alive and being played by many, many fans out there. Yeah, see, this is an actual catalog part of the magazine, and we've still got like 20 pages left in it. So these are, I mean, honestly, I don't know, but some of them, some of the later issues here came with pull-out posters. This one's got one of Connor Trenier, who is much better than the one that I saw earlier of Dr. Phlox. That handsome devil holding his waist because they don't have a belt. Yeah. What's on the other side of it? Oh, it's just white. That's a lost opportunity. Yeah, so eventually I will go through all these magazines and I'll get all the credits, the table of contents. Like, these are probably retirement goals, if I'm being honest. But Communicator was really big when Enterprise was going, when Nemesis and the unfortunate years of Star Trek. Yes, and then the question of, like, how much sex appeal should Star Trek have? Enough, but not too much. All right, so that was Communicator. Then I think next up was the magazine, not Star Trek Magazine, but Star Trek the Magazine, which the synopsis for that is officially authorized magazine published from 99 to 2003 by Fabry Publishing. 48 112 issues. I'm sorry, 48 112 page issues were published in 3 volumes. And there's actually some variants of these because they did like a test run at the very beginning. So, like, the covers are different and there's slightly different content on the inside, I think. But I think I have most of these. And what I liked about these are the technical briefings that they would have in here, which would be these absolutely gorgeous cutaways. The behind the scenes stuff and the interviews, like, and all the marketing stuff, like, I just, ugh. But, like, look at this concept art for like a holodeck arch or the main bridge. Is that the battle bridge? Yeah, I think that might actually be the battle bridge. But they would have these gorgeous posters that would, like like these centerfolds that you could pull out. Like, these are all like shuttlecraft. Okay, where are we going here? Yeah, shuttlecraft and away craft, and like This stuff really does it for me. Like, good lord. Okay, how are we gonna close this? Some of these were not closed by the previous owner correctly, so they got folded up pretty aggressively. Let's see if I can flip through here and see another group of here. Yep, there's another group. These, what is that? Yeah, it's a Frankie pod. Frankie. Frankie. But these magazines were the ones that I first learned about Star Trek magazines. I think these were the first ones that I saw, and it was those technical briefings. Like every time I ran into them, I just absolutely salivated over them. Now, what do you think that is? We got some pretty old school Ares 4. What do you think the Ares 4 is? But look at that inside. That cutaway. Yeah, that does it. Right there. Oh, there's a story that goes with it. It says the loss of the Ares 4 in 2032 began a mystery that was only resolved 300 years later by the USS Voyager NCC 74656. The discovery revealed the events surrounding mankind's first encounter with a spatial phenomenon. I don't remember that episode at all. I guess that means I'm going to have to rewatch Voyager. But honestly, man, if you want to like start collecting Trek magazines, these are the ones to start with. They're solid, they're heavy, they've got a nice, gorgeous spine to them. Fantastic looking content in there. Just everything about it is just fantastic. Okay, so I don't think we're even halfway through these. What do we got here? Okay, we got a bunch of special editions from the Star Trek magazine. This is 148 page special edition, but they did a whole bunch of different special editions. These were all published by Titan, who is still publishing Star Trek books. They were doing the Star Trek Explorer magazine, but there's no Star Trek magazines anymore because the world is upside down, everything's on fire, and no one cares about Star Trek anymore, and it makes me sad. But these specials, I actually don't know very much about them. I have not read any of these. Flipping through it, I see some very familiar like stock photos. Oh, but there is information in here about the read and play records. So maybe I will check this out. I mean, obviously, I'm going to check it out. I got to get all the credits and everything. Here's another just generic special. There's another 2016 special. Is this the stack? I don't know. Let's just pull it out and see what's in there. So these were, I don't think they were officially licensed, but they had permission to publish the photos. I think this is just regular old Starlog, which yeah. And this is legitimately an entire book about just merchandise. Flip. Yeah, look at that Enterprise. That's a pretty Enterprise. Got some busts. Here's the 7 of 9 bust from the cover. Look at that. The sex cell. I don't know. Let's see how that magazine did. Then Omni, which this is not the only Trek cover that they ever did, but this is the only one that I have. And that is a pretty shot of the Voyager, isn't it? And then Game Informer's cover for Star Trek Online, which this game has been running for a minute. When did this come out? It doesn't say on the cover. Maybe it says on the inside. Nope, SOCOM. I know that game's old. Pure GameStop. Yeah, they're still around. Far Cry 2. Fable 2. All right, starting to really date ourselves here. We have dates on this page. Contents, cover, story, Star Trek Online, blah, blah, blah. No no dates on this page. Although they're talking about the Xbox 360, so 2008 copyright. Let's see, at the very back, does it say? 20 bucks a year? If there's a date in here, I don't see it. We're gonna say it was around 2008, though. I actually just saw my collector's edition of this game sitting up on a shelf because I was putting the VHS copies of the original movies away. Don't ask why I had those out. Okay, so we're gonna do the next stack of what? Yeah, these are less than official magazines. The 2009 Star Trek book, no, Star Trek movie with what's his name, Zachary Quinto. Ultimate Guide to Star Trek, yet another Ultimate Guide. This is the Star Trek Beyond Collector's Edition, which I tried finding for straight up years. And here it is. It just fell into my lap. Star Trek Discovery, official companion, which I think this was. When did this come out? I think this came out before season 1. And while I did not like much of what Discovery did, they did do a lot of stuff really right. Like that's a fantastic piece of art right there, and that's the same style that they had from the main credits. Same with this guy right here. It doesn't say offhand who did the art. There it is, man. That's good stuff. Look at Burnham with her short hair. That last season, she had some pretty long hair. Yeah. And this magazine, this is published by Starlog. I had a copy of this when I was a kid. I remember it. No idea what happened to it. Maybe it got washed away or something. I don't know. But now I've got a copy of it again. It's fantastic. This is Star Magazine, which I don't know what Star Magazine is. I don't know even their publisher, which is AMI. But don't know anything about them. I'm going to have to read it. Oh. We keep going back to this one question, don't we? Like, the sex sell? About violence? About sexy violence? Or babies? I remember that episode where Trip got pregnant. What a crazy episode. Babies. All right, here's a TV Guide magazine special for the 50th anniversary. There's just a TV guide. Yeah, I guess they changed their format at one point. They went from those little tiny pocketbooks to these big old magazine style things. Let's see if we can't find Star Trek in the TV Guide. The TV Guide portion of this magazine is like 8 pages of 50. Gosh, no, 70. Okay, so we got the Cosby Show, Baby Story, Bring a Baby. We're actually gonna have to find right. CNN, Comedy Central, CNT, Cartoon, Saturday, Movie Guide, Prime Time, CBS, King of Queens, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, How I Met CBS. Oh, that's just Monday. Tuesday. Do we know what day Trek was on? Tony opens a letter containing white powder in the squad room, and he and Kate are sent into biohazard isolation. NCIS. Nope, don't see Trek on the TV Guide. That's a shame. Then when Leonard Nimoy passed, there were a number of tribute guides. CBS Watch had their own. It's a pretty thick magazine. Entertainment Weekly had their own. And then whoever this is had theirs too. Just as it's a tribute. Faces presents. Makes me wonder how long they had these prepped. Well, it says this is Rebel Inc. issue 1551. Cool. Star Trek at 50 years. Another 50-year anniversary. This one from, oh, both these are Newsweek. Newsweek really got into the 50-year celebration, didn't they? Now, here's the question. Do you think that these are the same magazines? Okay, so this one opens up with Nimoy directing the crew in front of the Enterprise testbed for the NASA shuttle system. And the Enterprise in orbit around a red planet. So let's see what's on the inside of this one. Oh, different cover page. Ooh, that's sexy. Yeah. Yeah, sex definitely sells when it looks like that. It's just looking kind of tan there. Yeah, these are completely different. These are completely different magazines. They just happen to say Star Trek 50 years. You have to get into the nitty-gritty details of what exactly is in there. All right, so this one's going to be in 2 stacks. I think this is someone's entire subscription of Star Trek magazine. And they interview every captain in the first issue. What's funny about this, though, is that this is not actually the first issue. If we get to right here, we learn that this was the UK Star Trek magazine that started in the US. So in the UK, this issue is 128. In the US, it's issue 1. I've not actually seen versions of this that say 128 in person. I haven't really done too much research online, but I did know about this weird conglomeration of I think it's the same content. They just put like different issue numbers on it. It's very confusing. But I don't remember this book having as many of the technical things that I always look for. It's just more like lists and merchandise and more lists and top 10 and here's a look back and an interview. And I mean, there's only so many interviews that you can get. And I'm not saying they're going to be dishonest in the interviews, but when the official magazine is interviewing you about something, you're not going to like spill the tea on anything. Now, something I did just find just now that that looks like the Ships of the Line cover. Oh, where we going? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. What do we got? We got Voyager. We got NX-01, Miranda, a Constitution class, the E, the D, the Refit, Defiant. It's like the Botany Bay, the Excelsior. What's that guy off in the corner? It looks like a C. Looks like an Akira class, a Constellation class. Delta Flyer, Shuttle Pod, and the J. And just randomly, better, a Moonlander. Why the Moonlander? I don't know. Oh my god, that is fantastic. I wonder if all these have those magazines or those posters in them. Oh, look at this. There's a book release schedule, which is appropriate for this channel. Oh man, remember when we got new books every month? And that's multiple books every month. That's like 3 books in December. Golly, man. What would you do with all those books? These are Titan reprints of the, let's say they were the DC series. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself if I had that many books coming out with Star Trek every month. Okay, so let's check this one to see if is there a spaceship. Oh, there is. What is this one of? Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. So this is obviously not a season 1 poster because that's 7. Do you think they put something on the back? They did. Yeah, that was a wise choice. They put uh, the animated crew on the other side. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty snappy poster too. Oh, yeah, and they're advertising the white box DVD set of the animated series, which I have I had that at one point, but I think I sold it for cheap too, like $10. It feels like something I should have in my collection. I don't know. Yeah, look at that, my camera's bouncing because I hit the camera. Then a 2-page article by Mr. Star Trek himself, Larry Nasemic. So issue 3 with Brent Spiner, which I hate that shot of him. Oh. Did I see another poster in here? I did. Yeah, it's the one I don't like. It just looks dreamy. His forehead looks huge in this too, and his hair. I don't know. Don't like it. Oh, and then Best Buds Forever on the other side. I like that one. Wait a minute. Is that Jeffrey Combs? I don't know. Might not be. All right, I'm not going to torture you by going inside every single one of these, but let's flip through them. So we got some Tribbles, we got Doomsday Machines, we got 20 years of Star Trek The Next Generation, Captains Courageous, Time Travel, not my favorite part of Star Trek, but it is what it is. Oh, and we just crossed from just stapled covers to bound covers. Romulus. Oh wait, no, we're back to this. What's so special about this one? I don't know. It's issue 13. Oh, it says the original series special. Why would it be a special? I don't know. Star Trek Destiny. Is that a video game? Let's see. Do we see Undiscovered Country? It's not really dead as long as we remember him. Infinity's Prism. Top Trumps. There's a Star Trek watch. Not bad looking. A little gaudy, but not terrible. I was trying to see if they had Star Trek Destiny in here. I want to say that was a video game. Yep. Strange Relations. Michael A. Martin charts the hidden history of the Romulans. All right. Nope, we're not going to go all day on that. Through the Mirror. Ooh, a Mirror Universe special episode. Remembering Voyager. Oh, and it gets the full special bound. Yep, back to the staple. Borg, Phasers on Fun. Villains. Then another stack of the same size of this same magazine. Yeah, why not? Celebrating the motion picture, which was not a bound side. This time it's War. Ultimate Movie Guide. Vulcan Chronicles. I think they're all gonna have that. Nope, no, they're not. Zero Sum Game previewed. evolution of a starship. Kind of like what they've done with the Girls Get It Done. Star-crossed lovers. Odo It Isn't. 25 years of the voyage home. Leonard Nimoy. Well, I'm about to lose this whole stack of magazines because I was being loosey-goosey with where I was putting it down. That's actually a really cool book, and it's good to see that book on the cover. How would I make it related to this somehow? Like, I could just tie it in with the book ID, but it would be cool to see like where this thing was advertised. That is the Klingon Bird of Prey like maintenance guide. I can't remember who wrote that, but it's kind of like a Haynes guide. It's really cool stuff. Oh, Funko Pops. You remember those? If you collect anything, you have some in your house, even if you don't know about them. Jeffrey Hunter as the original Pike, right? Let's see if they actually say it on the cover anywhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Pike. The Voyager, the Leonard Nimoy's. Do you think Riker's ready for command? He never took it. Star Trek Beyond, the best of that trilogy. And then some previews for Discovery. Inspirationally, ladies, the real world women empowered by Star Trek. She particularly did a ton of work at recruiting women and minorities into the hard sciences. If you ever get an opportunity to watch her biography, I can't remember the name of it, but it came out right before she passed. It was very good, and I didn't realize that she was so directly involved in recruiting people to work in sciences. And this would have been right before they canceled this magazine. And we got back down to the villains. Then we got a bunch of unofficial magazines in specials. This is a time travel special. No, wait, we've already looked through all these. Never mind. So this turned into like an hour-long video. Where are we at right now? Yeah, 42 minutes. Tons of magazines, tons of cool stuff in there. Eventually, I'll get them all up on the website. I don't think we have any Star Trek magazines being published right now. It's all comic books. IDW is the #1 publisher of Star Trek content, and they're doing a fantastic job at it. And Heather Antos, as their group editor, is doing a fantastic job at leading the ship in the correct direction. They got some really cool stuff coming out soon. But it's sad to see that like we don't have books coming out every month like we saw in these magazines. They were advertising them. We don't have a magazine anymore. We don't have short fiction coming out anywhere, and it sucks and it hurts. And I wish that the IP owners could be better stewards of the franchise. I'll do my part though. I'll keep talking to people about it, going to conventions, telling people Star Trek is cool. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna come up with a idea for another video. I don't know. This was it. I just went through like I probably should have broken this up into like 5 different videos. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Did you sit through this whole thing?